I want to talk to you about forgiveness. Forgiveness keeps coming up. So many conversations these last couple weeks about forgiveness because it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, I've been leaning into this concept of forgiveness more and reading about it and writing about it. And one of the phrases I hear most often when it comes to forgiveness is, I don't feel ready to forgive yet. I don't feel like I'm at that point yet. I want to, but I don't feel like I'm able to forgive this person yet. I recently posted a video and shared it on YouTube. I called it Anger and Forgiveness. It would be a great video to watch, kind of as a precursor to this one, but don't go away if you haven't seen it yet. You can finish this video and then watch that one. But basically it talks about some of the steps we need to take before we're even able to process that step of forgiveness. Like, we really need to acknowledge what happened. We need to evaluate the debt that's owed to us, right? We really need to kind of take an inventory. And what we're asking in that inventory is, what did I experience that I did not want to experience? Or what did I not experience that I really wanted? What did I not get that I really wanted from somebody? The other question is, how does that affect me? How did and how does that affect me? That I got something that I didn't want, or that I didn't get what I did want. How does it affect me? How did it affect me? And we just really evaluate the cost, the total debt. We are allowing ourselves to see and feel the wrong that has been done by asking those questions. Because then at that point we can stand on the brink of, okay, the next step here is forgiveness. The next step of kind of sitting with that pain and allowing ourselves to be present with the anger, evaluating it, just taking time to think about how it's affected us, and just like, man, that's been hard. It's been really hard. And just kind of being present with that. And the next step is, how do I want to move forward? Okay, so I talk about this in the last video, where we can remain completely dependent on that person, waiting for them to set us free, because we're waiting for them to make up for what they've done wrong, or we're wanting something to kind of click in our heart. We're waiting for them to do some grand gesture that, I mean, they're never going to be able to repay this debt, right? It's a debt they can't pay. It's a debt that they don't have the finances to cover, right? But we're kind of dependent on them to respond properly, to approach us and kind of deal with the situation in a way that helps our heart feel more free. Or we can decide, I'm not going to be dependent on them. I'm going to be empowered. I'm going to take charge. I'm going to be in charge of how I move forward, and I'm going to choose to forgive so that I can be free. Okay, so that's one of the options. And here's what I want to say about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an emotion. It's not a feeling. It's never a feeling. Forgiveness is a very intentional, thought out, very conscious choice. Forgiveness is an action. And we can choose to forgive for the sake of our freedom from a person, because when there's a debt, then we're linked to that person, right? They owe us something, they have wronged us, and they're linked to us and we're linked to them. There's like a spiritual link, okay? But maybe we don't want to be linked to them anymore. Maybe we don't want to be dragging this kind of like, they owe me something around with us anymore. We want to be free. We want to be free from the pain, the anger, the ugh. We want to be free from the ugh. Okay, and so we can use the phrase, I choose to forgive so that I can be free. Because we can't choose freedom and unforgiveness at the same time. That's not an option. You can choose to forgive and be free, or you can choose to stay linked and not forgive. You can't choose freedom and unforgiveness at the same time. So, forgiveness is not an emotion, it's a choice. It's not a feeling. It's a very intentional, conscious choice. It's an action step. And freedom, the freedom that you desire when you're hurting and angry and have this anchor of emotions from your past, the freedom you desire comes only with this choice and this action step of choosing to forgive. It's very hard. It's very hard. But that's why you have to do the first part first, where you are taking an evaluation of the debt and the cost, and you're really thinking about how that has affected you before you step into this new step of choosing forgiveness so that you can be free. So I want to encourage you to think about these things. Think about the choice that is forgiveness, and also know that those emotions that you're longing for, when you say, I don't feel ready to forgive, I don't feel like I'm at that point yet, the emotions that you're longing for they come in time when you choose forgiveness. The emotions you're longing for that kind of wrap themselves around the choice of forgiveness are peace, the freedom, even compassion in your heart for the other person, sympathy for them, and more of a gentle heart even towards yourself maybe. And so when we choose to forgive, we don't always feel that freedom yet, but it's an action step, remember? So we say, I choose to forgive so I can be free. And then if we see that person, interact with that person, something about that person comes up and we feel hurt and angry all over again, then we remind ourselves, I've chosen to forgive, and I choose to stand in that place of forgiveness. I choose to stand here because I've chosen freedom, and I choose forgiveness so I can be free. And we just keep making that choice. We keep standing in that choice, and the emotions that surround the choice of forgiveness will come to you along with freedom. Okay? Something to think about, friends. It's a hard work, but you can do it. You can choose it today. You can choose it right now and start that process. All right. Love you. Bye.